Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Today I would like to talk about these Arteza Expert colored pencils. There are 72 in this set. I have not opened them yet. I was so kindly sent these from Arteza to review. And I don't know about you, but I love watching swatching videos, and I've heard from many of you that a lot of you guys do too. If this is not your thing, you can feel free to go ahead and skip this video, because I know that there have been many other color tubers out there that have reviewed these also. So we're just going to swatch these out. Like I said, have not looked at them, so I am not sure how they work, but I do hear from people that have colored with them that they love them. So I am really interested to see how these color. I'm sure they're not going to be as soft as Prismacolors, but I do hear that they are nice and soft. Oh, look at these colors. Now, when you look at them, let's get one that you can plainly see the writing on. You will notice that they do say, let me zoom in a tad. They do say Arteza here, and I like the fact that it is written in silver. You can read it very easily. It says Expert here, and then on the reverse side is the color code and the name of the color. So, you know, all of us colorists love it when they name their pencils. They kind of remind me of polychromos, because the end is also colored. It's not open like the Prismacolors and some of the other budget-friendly colored pencils. So they are, the end of it is also dipped in ink. The lacquer, they're very nice and shiny, as you can see. So we have a tray here, and they do have finger grips here on the sides, but I do find it still kind of awkward to get them out. So naturally, I will be putting these in a pencil case. And then we have a second tray, and then a third tray. So what I thought we would do, let's get out this first tray. You can smell the paint on them. Look at the prettiness. Okay, what I did is I have a color chart here, and I went ahead before I started recording. I wrote all the numbers. I didn't take the time to write the color names, but I wrote the number, and so then we'll just swatch it out over here. So let's see. Now I wrote it down according to, let me close this back up so you can see the back of the case too, in case you're not familiar with these. On the back, it has a listing of all of the colors. So I just wrote down the color number and not the name. I just dropped the A. I'm assuming that's for Arteza. So when I make my color chart, I only put down the number itself. I don't include the A before it. So we start out with Ivory. So I'm really hoping these are in the order in what they are on the back. Now this tray starts out with the black. So hopefully the bottom tray starts out with the Ivory 075. Otherwise I'm going to be digging through all these pencils. Oh my gosh, which it kind of looks like I'm going to be. Oh no, that's not good. Well, let's see where Ivory is. It's 075. Oh my gosh, this will be awful if I'm having to dig through every color to find that. Otherwise, we're just going to be 075, and because it's in the evening and I have my lights on up here, they're kind of glaring. I don't even see something like an Ivory. Let's just take all of these trays out so then I can turn this over. I'm gonna zoom you back out for a minute. Okay, so we go with the yellows, and they have all the yellows together here, but I see in the trays they do not. This is not going to be good, because Nor, which is black, is way down here, and it's the first color in this tray, and then is white quartz. So no, they are definitely not in the order what they are in the trays. Not a good thing. So I guess it did not help for me to write these all out ahead of time. And I'm not going to put you through me fumbling and trying to find the right color. So I think what we're going to do, I am just going to flip this over, swatch them on the reverse side. I'm not going to write down the color name and number. We're just going to have a look here, and I'll just mention what the color is as we swatch it. So this first one is charcoal. So it is not Nor. We're going to start with this here tray over here. So now I'm going to zoom you back in a little bit. Okay, so we have, what did I say? Charcoal. Let's see what they, okay, they do feel quite soft. Now the tips do come pre-sharpened, but if you'll notice, they don't come to a really sharp tip. They're kind of blunt at the very top, and I think that's just for shipping purposes, so that the tips don't get broken off, you know, during the shipping process. So if you want them sharper than that, you know, you can use your sharpener. That's a pretty blue. This one is called Mykonos blue. Then we have Peacock blue. Ooh, I always like that color. That looks like a little bit different of a peacock blue than what I'm used to. But that's just me. Here is robin egg blue. These do lay down on the paper really nicely, and I just have copy paper here. It's a little bit thicker than your standard copy paper. It's one thing heavier, and I like to print some things on this little bit heavier paper. It's not necessarily, you know, it's not as heavy as marker paper. Oh, that's pretty. What is this again? Let's see. This is, how do you pronounce it? Asian blue? A-E-G-E-A-N? That's pretty. That's kind of more what I think of as peacock blue, you know. Has more of a tealish look to it. This is moss. I should adjust my chair because I feel like I'm swatching at an odd angle. I always have that problem when I'm swatching because I want to keep my paper straight so you guys can see it straight in the camera. So I don't want to turn the paper. Okay, so we had moss. We have basil. So we got some greens going here. Oh, that's a pretty green. I like that. I don't know if I've ever heard of the color name basil before. Mint. Oh, that's pretty too. And we have pear. They do lay down really nice and smooth. So, lemon. Nice, bright yellow. I like that. Sunflower. It's a little bit darker of a yellow. Very nice. And then pumpkin. These are some good colors to use in our fall pictures and Halloween pictures that we have going on this month. And honey, another pretty color for some fall leaves. So these all go together really well for fall. And peaches and cream. Oh, that's a pretty color. Like that. Like a salmon pink kind of. Pink macaroon. That's pretty. Now I thought it was going to be a little bit brighter than that. So doesn't exactly match the barrel, but it's a, you can tell by the tip, you know, the color too. So very nice. And plum. Now plum I kind of think of as a purple. All right, kind of reminds me of Processed Red from the Prismacolor. Okay, and then we have Crimson. That's a nice red. And Carmine Red, and we can recognize some of these names from Prismacolor. Now that's your nice standard red color. And Magenta. Am I still on camera here? Yep. Okay, and then we're getting into some browns. So some more fall colors. Here is burnt ochre. That's a nice lighter brown. I like that. And sienna brown. All right. Cinnamon. Oh, that's pretty too. I like that. These would blend really well together. And cocoa. Let's move you up a bit. I apologize for not being able to have the name or the number next to the colors, but I didn't want to take the time because I don't have a chart here to work with now. Dark chocolate, very dark brown, but yet a different tone than that one. This is kind of richer of a brown. Okay, so that is the first tray. Let me open this tin back up so I can put them back in here. Okay, let's go on to another tray, and we'll put this over here. Let's start up at the top again. Here we are starting with the black or Noir. So I could go a little bit bigger here. Okay, nice dark black. And we have indigo. Indigo I typically think of as being a little bit darker than that, but it's a very pretty blue. And we have blueberry. Definitely a blueberry color. Now we have a few purples. Amethyst. Oh, that's pretty. That is a pretty purple color. And purple iris. Oh, yes. Gorgeous. And then we have Ultramarine. Now this tip did get a little broken off. Not a big deal. Very pretty. And now we have a few greens. So we have quite a few greens. This one's forest green. Okay, forest green. Well, yeah, I guess so. I was thinking, you know, typically forest green is a real deep green, but yeah, that does resemble a forest green. Here we go with emerald. Okay. And then we have ocean ocean blue. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. And some lighter greens. Here we have spring green. Oh, that's pretty too. Kind of like a chartreuse color. And absinthe green. Okay. And lime. Ooh, that's a very light green. That'll work great for shading, like for on leaves and things like that. Yellow sapphire. So now we're going back to a few yellows and oranges. Very light yellow. And we have Tuscan Sun. Well, that's a pretty yellow orange. And we have orange. Oh, I like that. Sometimes in sets you don't get just a good standard orange. You'll either get on the yellow side or you'll get on the red side, but you don't get one right in the middle. That one's nice. And then we have apricot, or some people say apricot. Okay, that could kind of be used as a skin tone. I'm trying to kind of watch to see what can be used for skin tones. And this one's too pinkish. That one could maybe be used as a skin tone. And coral. I always like this color too. Yeah, that's pretty. And flamingo, I was going to say, this looks like a neon pink. Let's see how bright it is. That is bright. Not quite matching the barrel. You know, it's kind of different than the barrel of the pencil, but I guess, you know, again, if you look at the lead itself, you can tell the lead is a different color than the color on the barrel itself, right? Okay, and then we have fruit punch. Like all their products, they have some cute names for their pencils and markers. That's pretty. Then we have another couple reds. This looks like an orange red. Blood orange, yep. Very nice. So the orange and the blood orange would go really well together, and possibly with this next color then, which is rose red. Yes. Now the red that's kind of on the more orangey side. So we do have a real good assortment of the orange that goes into the reds then. And here's like a yellowish orange. So very good assortment in those colors that can blend and shade together. Then we have passion fruit. Okay, and passion fruit is more of a kind of like a brick red, right? Garnet, which I think of as a deep red also. Okay, to me these are more on the brownish side, I guess. I wouldn't think of that as passion fruit for some reason. And maybe that's just my mind. Passion fruit I always thought was more of like a pinkish red, but I could be totally wrong on that. Espresso, that's always a nice dark brown. Yes, okay. All right, so that is the end of tray 2. And on to the last tray. We have a few more purples, blues, greens, all kinds of things. So they do really mix the colors up in their trays. It would be kind of nice if, number one, they would maybe put them in kind of color order, because if they would follow what's on the back of the tin and put them, you know, at least put them in that order when they put them in the trays. That would have been nice. Eggplant. Let's start up at the top again. Okay. Oh, I like that color. Pretty. Oh, and this next one looks pretty too. Lilac. Yes, so we do have a few shades of pretty purple. Lavender. Yes. And UBE, is that oob? Never heard of that. Okay, that's a nice light purple also, but different yet than the lilac, as you can tell. Has a little bit more blue to it. Periwinkle. Now if we look at the barrel of this pencil, to me that doesn't look at all like periwinkle. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't periwinkle like a light bluish purple? This looks real blue to me, but yet the tip doesn't, right? That is a periwinkle though. Very pretty blue. Okay, then we have jade. Oh, that's a nice deep green. Sage. Yes. And we have fern. So yes, as you can see, there are lots and lots of greens in this set. For those of you who do, you know, a lot of flowers and, you know, with leaves. This one is shamrock green. Oh, pretty like greenish blue. And turquoise. Okay, kind of similar, but a little bit lighter than the peacock, right? Was that peacock? Yeah, peacock green. All right, we have, is it matcha? Matcha? Oh, that's pretty too. That really would go with these here too, you know, with these greens over here. Well, then we have white, or white quartz, which I'm just going to put down so that when I go through my swatching later and the order of the trays, I'll know what color is what. And then we have ivory, another nice pale yellow. So when I was looking for ivory before, I found it. Marmalade. Very nice. I like that too. Don't know if that could necessarily be used for a skin tone or not, but so it is kind of lacking. This set is kind of lacking in that. Peony. That's a pretty pink. Fuchsia. That's another color I usually like. Yes. Kind of a pinkle. That's a new color, isn't it? A pinkle. A pinkish purple. Pinkle. You know. Yes. This is turmeric. And shade darker than that is yellow ochre. Yes, another couple colors that would blend well together. And camel. Let's move you up just a bit. And there we have a darker shade of them. So those all go together very nicely. Coyote. That's a different name too. Kind of a greenish brown. Looks to me like it has a little bit of a green undertone to it. And smoke. Here we get to our grays. That's a pretty cool gray. And we have space gray. Okay, a little bit of a darker gray than the previous one. And elephant gray. Well, here's a warmer gray. And then last, but certainly not least, we have pewter. And it's a darker, warm gray. So we have 2 shades of the cool gray and then 2 shades of the warm gray. And for me, that's plenty of grays. I'm glad they didn't, like some of the marker sets have just a gazillion grays. And I know there are some of you out there who love your grays. And that's great because you guys are the ones that can do all your nice shading and all of that with your pencils and markers. But I guess that's just not me. So I'm glad that they reserved some of this 72 set for all of these other colors and did only limit the grays a little bit. But again, that's just me and how I like colors. So let's look over the colors that we have in this 72 set. And we do have to keep in mind that it is only a set of 72. It's not our 120 polychromos or especially our 150 Prismacolors, right? So out of 72 colors, we do have quite a few blues, as you can see, a nice assortment of blues. And look at all of the greens. Lots and lots of pretty greens. We do have a very nice assortment of yellows. I think the yellows that go into the oranges, that go into the reds, I think is very, very nice for a set of 72. And some really pretty pinks. Not a lot, but, well, I guess if you count these, yeah, I guess there are quite a few, and some really nice shades of red. Like I said, it's nice having your good standard orange in this set that goes into like a red orange and then into the red. So that's really nice to see. And we have some dark reds, or what I like to call, you know, your brick reds and things like that. So we have that covered. And we do have a number of shades of brown here. So that's nice. Not a ton of purples. I know there are not a lot of purple fans out there like me, but I know there are some of you. I've read the comments. So not a ton, but again, this is a set of 72. You know, you can only do so much. So I guess, again, for a set of 72, there's quite a few purples in here. Nice, pretty light blue here. Going on to, yep, the greens, like I said. And then we did have a few more browns and then your deep yellows here. I think the one thing that the set, and I keep going back to the fact that it is just a set of 72, you're going to be missing some tones and colors in a set this size. But it would have been nice, I guess, to have a few good skin tone colors in this set. I don't know where they could have removed some other colors, though, to do that, because I don't really see colors that are real similar. Maybe these two. Let's zoom in a little bit. You know, these two, they are different, but they are quite similar. So I don't know if they could have taken one of these out and brought in a skin tone. Here too, these are different colors. You know, this one is darker than that, but they are kind of similar. You know, maybe they could have brought in a skin tone there. Like I said, there aren't any colors that are identical, where, you know, some other sets you do get some that are extremely similar, especially in markers sets. You know, your bigger marker sets, they sound fantastic and I love them, so I can't say anything. I don't want to be a hypocrite here. But when you do get those great big 168 sets, or, you know, whatever, which I do because I love my markers, there are repeats of colors, you know, that are real similar. So you don't have that in this set, but yeah, the only thing I guess I would like to see would be a few skin tones. And one other suggestion would be putting these trays in the order that's on the back. Would have been really nice. At least, you know, the yellows and the reds, all the greens, blues, purples, everything would have been together. Whereas in these trays, it's just a total mishmash of colors. But I guess not that huge of a deal. I'll go through and I'll put them in my own order anyhow. These look like they're in a pretty nice order though. So I probably won't have to do a whole lot of changing around. They, yeah, they look like they're pretty good. So that again is the 72 set of the Expert colored pencils. Would be kind of nice if they came out with maybe a skin tone set. You know, it wouldn't have to be that big. We don't need that many skin tones. Maybe a set of 12, right? Just something. I know they came out, you know, with the skin tone set of markers, which was really nice, and I did review them on my channel in a video. So yeah, it would be nice if maybe they would come out with a skin tone set. I don't know if I've ever seen a specific skin tone set in pencils. I know there are quite a number of alcohol markers that have a separate skin tone set. But I don't know if I've ever seen colored pencils with a skin tone set. Have you? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen that, because I definitely, you know, am no expert in colored pencils. Yes, I do have a lot of different sets of pencils, and in the ones that I have, I've never seen a separate set of skin tones. But then again, the bigger sets have, you know, a number of skin tones in their set, so they wouldn't need one. But maybe in the smaller sets, yeah, maybe they could add a skin tone set. So anyhow, with all of that being said, this again was a swatching out of the Arteza 72 colored pencils. I will leave a link for these down below in the description. I am an Arteza affiliate, so if you purchase through that link, I will receive a little bit of a kickback from that purchase. I will also have a coupon code in the description below, and if you use that link to these colored pencils, you will receive 10% off using that coupon code. I believe it is Lisa's Coloring Corner 1. And that is good through the end of the month. I will leave the expiration date down in the description too, just so that you know for sure. I don't know if, I can't remember if it's the 31st or not. It might be the 25th. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it lately what the expiration date was, but again, it'll be down in the description. So I hope you liked watching this swatching video. Again, I apologize that I couldn't use this front side where I had, you know, the number spelt out for you, and that I just did it this way. But, you know, I thought I was trying to speed things up for you so this video wouldn't get too horribly long, and I kind of failed. So if you like watching this swatching, I love how that rhymes, video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a terrific day, and as always, happy coloring. Bye guys.